Hey, it's Cecil, and it's Monday, unless you are one of my Ko-fi supporters, in which case it is Sunday. And today I am turning myself into Emily from The Corpse Bride. She's the title character. She is the Corpse Bride. And we are starting off, just like with the Melusine cosplay, with gluing down my eyebrows. And this time I tried using concealer over them first, and I think that worked better. There's not a. I think next time I do it, I might use a slightly darker concealer shade. Just because my eyebrows, even when I am my natural hair color, it's still. My brows are still more brown, whereas my hair is more of a dirty blonde, so. Anyways, all in all, I think it turned out better. Um, I'm much happier with it, and we live, we learn. It would probably be better if I let everything dry just a little longer, but when I'm just filming a video, I get so antsy to just get it done, especially when I'm not talking or anything, and I'm just like, I don't want to say I'm rushing, but I'm slightly rushing. Also, you will notice for the duration of this video, my cat Toulouse is laying behind me and being cute, looking out the window. So, love to have a cameo. Dakota was sitting next to me, but because he was next to me, you could not see him. Anyways, so I honestly, The Corpse Bride was one of my like favorite Halloween movies when I was little. I don't have many memories of being a child, but I do remember that it was definitely one of my favorites, and so I have a lot of fondness towards it, even if I don't necessarily remember all of the plot. I remember some of it, um, and the biggest thing that I remember is the fact that he was practicing proposing with the, or like doing something with the ring, and he did that to what he thought was like a branch of a bush. And instead of being a bush, it was a corpse finger, and hence the introduction of the Corpse Bride. And I remember this quite vividly because sometimes when I was, a small child, I would like look at bushes and be like, what if I proposed to that bush and I got myself a cool undead girlfriend? What if I did? And never really thought anything of that until much later when I was like, that was a pretty fruity thought, Tiny Cecil. So yeah, I guess you could say that Emily might have been one of my first fictional crushes, which good for you, past me. I I love that for you. Um, yeah. I wanted to go in with a little bit more of a gray foundation over top of everything when I was like blending everything in to give it that more dead vibe. And then the fact that I was using a translucent powder instead of like a colorful one or a perfectly clear one, not that I think those exist, but like they might, it adds to that corpsey flesh look. So very satisfied with how that turned out. However, the amount of setting spray and setting powder you see me use, only do that if you're actually planning to wear it for a little while so that your sweat has some time to work at it. Because I took a shower like 30 minutes after filming. Hello, Goose. And it didn't want to come off because it was cemented on there. Um, you know, usually these foundations do come off pretty well as long as it's like something that's designed to get waterproof makeup off. But this was cemented on, which is because I used so much to make sure that it was. So that's on me. That's my fault. I did that. Um Drawing on the details took some time. Well, stretch. Drawing on the details took a bit of time. I couldn't completely tell what was like shadows and what was dirt and what was corpsiness in some of the pictures. So it took a bit of creative liberty and trying to remember what would look right. I ended up trying to once again make my eyes look bigger. I also accidentally got some on my waterline. Do not recommend. First of all, it's a water activated liner. It's not supposed to go on your water line, as you can imagine. It won't stay there. But it went straight into my eyeball, and that was not pleasant. Anyways, so I once again tried to make my eyes look a little bit bigger. And because I have hooded eyes, I drew it up quite a bit, even though you will only be able to see really like the very top of it. I still think it was like I think it was the right move. I think obviously if I did it differently, I would probably have just skipped putting any foundation on my eyelid. Um but once again, we're doing white over the blue like a fool. It's okay. I feel like with the darker blue outline, it ends up looking pretty much fine. So I'm not that worried about it. um, yeah, but there's a lot of parts with like around the cheeks, especially. I couldn't tell what was like shadow and what wasn't. So I ended up just kind of trying to make it look like it could be a gouge in the flesh, or it could be sharp, cartoonish shadow. So, you know. That's what we were going for. But right now, she has like a really her eyes are like lined with darker blue. Um and then obviously the lashes. There's a lot more going on with her bottom lashes than her top lashes. So that is what I ended up focusing on. I don't think it looks the best, to be completely honest, but I think overall it got the point across. I feel like it felt worse in the mirror than it does watching back the footage. Hello, Dakota. I do see you. Please don't step on mommy's keyboard. Thank you. Um, but yeah, it got the point across. You can tell you can tell what's going on there. Um, I also was so unsettled by the way that the eyebrows looked, because with my normal resting expression, I'm like, this is why soccer moms stop me in the supermarket to ask if I'm okay. Because most of my resting expression looks concerned. And that's why. Just that slight adjustment of what the eyebrows looked like. And I'm like, oh, I do look a little bit like I'm about to cry all of the time, don't I? I call it my resting lost child look, which is not something you want to have when you're in your mid 20s. Oh yeah, here's that part that I'm talking about where I kind of was like somewhere between gouge in flesh and just maybe a cartoon shadow. I see you, Toulouse. I hear you. Are you upset that you see Dakota, or are you just meowing to meow? What's going on, Cheese? They do not have an answer for me. um, because of course they had to be in the video and in the voiceover. Once again, setting spray, and then went in with a pink lipstick that was definitely expired because it made my face feel weird, and that's why I had to take the makeup off immediately, because I was like, wow, this is a burning sensation. That's not good. Either that or I'm allergic to an ingredient, which is also possible because I have 5 billion allergies. It's not that bad. I actually, compared to other people who have mast cell disorders, my allergies are pretty well under wraps. Anyways, so I was like, yeah, this is good. This is done. And then I did some poses that will probably one of them be used for the thumbnail. And then I was like, oh, I forgot something. So give me a moment to remember that I forgot something, because I wanted to add just like a little bit of highlighter, just like a little glow, a little shine in some of the places, cuz there's some highlighted features. I think, you know, I'm really impressed though with like how well everything dried down. It definitely helps that there weren't a bazillion layers of foundation on my face. I think it felt so much more comfortable than when I did the Melazine. It also took so much less time. Also was not expecting. But yeah, there's the highlighter. There's the finished look. There we go. I do really like how it turned out at the end of the day, and it was fun.